Despite the obvious benefits though, this has created a real dilemma for leaders. For most of us, we have enough trouble keeping our own shit together, let alone having to manage our team's personal problems. Welcome to Moments with Marty, your short, sharp shot of leadership insight to help you stay on track between our weekly episodes of the No Bullshit Leadership podcast. Over the last several years, we've seen greater integration of our work and personal lives than we ever have before. Some would even go so far as to say it's unprecedented. Now, all this began a couple of decades ago when innovations in telecommunications and mobile technology gave us the ability to be online no matter where we were. When our parents left the office, their workday was done, and they would only be contactable in case of extreme emergencies. You'd have to physically turn up at their door and knock on it if you wanted to contact them. But even as early as the mid-1980s, when I was a software developer at a bank in Sydney, I worked with some of the earliest technology that enabled remote connection to the bank systems via an analogue landline. And for at least the last 20 years, we've been able to work outside standard office hours pretty easily, from wherever we happened to be. Now at first, this only affected the top tiers of management, but as technology improved, it worked its way down to the front line. No wonder then that with work breaching the boundaries of our personal lives, that our personal lives would eventually permeate the traditional workplace barriers. In the past, it was considered completely unacceptable to bring personal issues into the workplace. It didn't matter what was going on outside of work, you'd arrive each day with your game face on. Your personal life could have been in cataclysmic meltdown, but you were still expected to turn up, level, composed and ready to go. Now, these days, of course, we're encouraged to bring our whole selves to work. This has brought some amazing benefits. We're now able to talk openly about the things that we're struggling with, like mental health problems or our struggles with addiction. And it's cast a spotlight on some societal issues that were considered taboo, but absolutely needed greater awareness, like suicide prevention and domestic violence. In a relatively short space of time, we've moved from effectively insulating our personal lives from work to now allowing our personal lives to dominate our work. And look, fair enough, right? For many years, it was one-way traffic in the other direction. Despite the obvious benefits, though, this has created a real dilemma for leaders. For most of us, we have enough trouble keeping our own shit together, let alone having to manage our team's personal problems. Although a leader's duty of care has expanded in the last 5 years, very few people are equipped to deal with the implications of this. And it raises some really tricky questions, like, how do you cut people some slack for their personal issues without allowing that to lower the standard you're setting for the team? How do you recognise a red flag, and what do you do if you spot one? How do you insulate other team members from the fallout of a single individual's personal struggles? How do you know when to cut a break for someone who's going through difficult times and when to demand that they step up? How do you know when someone is genuinely struggling or whether they're just playing the system to their advantage? How do you know if someone is at their breaking point or if they just need to be stretched a little bit more to increase their resilience? And how do you support the people who are genuinely in trouble without slipping into amateur psychologist mode? It doesn't matter what the size or makeup of your team is. These questions should always be in the back of your mind. You need to ensure that you give every individual the support they need without compromising your high-performance ethos. If you want to take a deeper dive into how to handle personal issues in the workplace, have a listen to episode 185 of the No Bullshit Leadership podcast, The Mental Health Minefield. This is full of practical, real-world examples that are going to massively improve your confidence. We'll leave a link in the show notes. I really hope you enjoyed this moment and that it gives you that extra little spark to be a no bullshit leader.